We're going to have a look at an app that is really good for behaviour management in a primary school setting. I would say that this is one of those core apps that any primary school teacher should have on their iPad, and it's called Too Noisy Pro. Now, there is a light version of Too Noisy, but the paid for version gives you a lot more, and we'll go through those features. Now, first of all, the way that it works is it uses the microphone on the iPad to pick up the ambience of the room. Now, what's quite good about that is because it's on your actual iPad, you can decide where you want to put your iPad in the room, and you can keep an eye on the board. So, for example, if you've got one very noisy table, then you can put this on their table and keep monitoring the sound levels there. Now, as you can see, the dial goes up if I speak louder, and it goes down if I speak quietly. Now, we can actually change the sensitivity levels of that by hitting the cogs over here. As you can see here, we have some different sensitivity levels. At the moment, I'm on a class setting, but if I wanted to do a lesson where everybody has to be absolutely silent, I can tap on silent. And as you can see here, even if I whisper, I can very easily set it off. Now, I'm going to show you what happens if I do set it off. So it's pretty clear when the class have become too disruptive. Obviously, we've got different settings like group. If I tap on that, that dampens down the sensitivity. So we might be doing a lesson where maybe the children are allowed to talk, but there's an acceptable level. Well, you can set it to this sensitivity and just keep your eye on the iPad there. Now, on top of this, there are a few extra elements that I want to show you. The first thing is within these settings here, we have different background themes. Now, this is particularly good for a range of different age ranges. You might want to go for something that is particularly childish, something like this, if you're working in reception or if you're working with very young children. We also have different dials to select from, and again, this can really make a difference depending on what age group you're working with. I could go for something a little bit more adult like so, and change my background theme to something a little bit more adult like so, and then we got something that looks a lot more grown up. We also have star awards. Now, this is a really cool element to this particular app and only comes with the paid for version. Now, this allows you to award your class with star awards, and basically you can set the timer here and decide whether you want to give the class a star for every minute that they're quiet or every 5 minutes that they're quiet. And you can keep changing this depending on how well the class are doing. Obviously, this gives you a really visual and a really easy way of telling whether the children are being quiet and whether you should reward them or not. So there you go. There's Too Noisy Pro. It's a very easy app to use, and it can make a big difference in the classroom.